Honourable Member Shri N.R. Elango.
Chairman, I thank you for the opportunity.
You have 6 minutes left from your previous speaker.
Honourable Chairman, this is my maiden speech, so please consider the time.
Maiden speech.
I thank you for the opportunity given to me to address this House. I thank my leader, through M.K. Stalin, for having proposed and made me a member of this House. I thank my party and its leaders for having wholeheartedly seconding the proposal. Belonging to the Dravidian culture.
Member, just for your information, the maiden speech you can take up in a subsequent one when you're speaking on a specific bill. This one will have
I'll try to complete.
Thank you.
Belonging to the Dravidian culture, I would like to express my gratitude to the leaders who have shaped and influenced the Dravidian ideology. Dr. C. Nadeshnar, Panagal Raja Sir Rama Rai Nangavaru, Sir P.T. Tyagaraya, Sir A.T. Pannirselvam, Sir T.M. Nair, Tandai Periyar, Perarinyar Anna, Tamizhana Thalavar Dr. Kalaignar, and Yenamana Perasiriyar Anbazhagnar. But for those great leaders, people like me would have remained uneducated, leave alone coming to this august House. Sir, my leader asked me to explain to this great House the plight of Tamils and represent the cause of Tamil Nadu. And for that, just to re-emphasize what Arinyar Anna spoke in this House. I recall the words of Perarinyar Anna on the floor of this House on 25th January 1963. I quote, "Sovereignty does not reside entirely in one particular place. We are having a federal structure. That's why the framers of the Constitution wanted a federal structure and not a unitary structure. Because as many political philosophers have pointed out, India is so vast. In fact, it has been described as a subcontinent. So vast, the mental health is so varied, the traditions are so different, the history is so varied that there cannot be any steel frame unitary structure here." Sir, I thank the Excellency the President for having informed that there are now 562 medical colleges in our country and 50,000 PG and UG seats are increased in those medical institutions. Sir, because of this increase, then there is no need for the All India quota in the state government hospitals. So I request this government to surrender all the All India quota seats from the next academic year to the relevant state governments and the colleges. Sir, after seeing the protest of the farmers and after hearing that about 160 to 190 farmers died, I came with a very fond hope that this government will withdraw the agriculture bills. But that was not happening. And it was made clear that they are not going to do that.
Let's keep silence, please.
In the President's address, it was stated that 1 lakh crore has been allotted to the Agricultural Infrastructure Fund. It is stated that about 100 Kisan rails were being introduced. Sir, but in the budget speech, it is stated at page 9, para 47, warehousing assets such as CPSEs, Central Warehousing Corporation, and NAFAD, among others, will be monetized. The presidential address speaks about 100 Kisan rails. The budget speech says railways will monetize dedicated freight corridor assets for operation and maintenance after commencement. On the one hand, you are saying that we are spending crores and crores of rupees of the taxpayers' money for the development of the country. On the other hand, you are selling all those assets. So this is a kind of using the powers for an alien purpose. So the 3 farm laws which are now introduced and passed, all these 3 forms are necessarily occupying the field of the state's power. There was no need for the center to legislate in such a tearing hurry, exceeding its legislative competency in a matter entrusted exclusively to the state. Further, though the legislations were enacted under the guise of alleged reforms for the farmers, their interests were not even considered. Sir, in the state list, entries 14, 28, 30, 45, 46, 47, and 48 completely occupy the field of agriculture. The union government exceeded its legislative competency and passed those agricultural bills. Sir, this is against federalism. Sir, after 30 years of Aringer Anna's speech in this Honorable House, in this August House, Honorable Supreme Court of India in S.R. Bommai's case said, federalism is the basic structure of our constitution. That has been now flouted. Sir, on 13th September 1970, our former CM of Tamil Nadu, Muthamizhar Aringer Dr. Kalaignar spoke about the importance of state autonomy. He demanded greater powers of states politically, administratively, and physically. Sir, in 2008, our leader, Mr. M.K. Stalin, wrote a letter to the Honorable Prime Minister and 10 other Honorable Chief Ministers. In that, he was highlighting the state's autonomy. So the farm laws are paving way for a cattle formation. It gives a chance to the sponsor to create encumbrance over the crops without knowledge of the farmers. The subdivisional authority is given a power to decide the dispute between the farmer and sponsor. There is no clarity what kind of procedure he is going to adopt, whether the procedures of Evidence Act will apply or not, it is not known. The Essential Commodities Amendment Act, in fact, runs contrary to the main act and its objectives. And in short, all these laws are going to create a black marketing regime. Sir, one important question need to be answered. What kind of country are we? What kind of nation are we going to be? Our actions today determine the country of tomorrow and forge the thoughts of the leaders of tomorrow. Today we are at a crossroads where we must draw upon our inner strength and the idea of India we grew up, where there is harmony, love, and find the resolve not to yield forces of destruction. While we do so, it is important to remind ourselves the principles of secularism. All of us should join together to fight hated and divisive forces. There is an idea of India that our constitution makers had in their minds. It was one of appreciation of different cultures, religions, languages, not merely of the tolerance. It is such country that I want my children to inherit. Sir, 2 minutes, I'll finish. Sir, of late we are seeing Honorable Prime Minister and the ministers are quoting Tamil poets. Maybe because of the elections in Tamil Nadu are forthcoming. Anyhow, we thank them. But one Tirukural, which they forgot to consider. In Hindi, we are all calling the farmers as Annadadas. Tirukural said, Uludundu Valvare Valvar, Matrellam, Toludundu Pinsilbavar. Which means, those who are plowing or living, all others are leading a subservient, dependent life on the farmers. We are passing bills, sir, against the detriment of them. The government have to consider that. Sir, in democracy, numbers play a major role. It is hence believed that the majority can do whatever they want, or they think whatever they do is right. I quote a couplet from Tirukural. Eppurul yarar vai ketpinum, appurul meipurul kanpaderiyu. To discern the truth in everything by whomever spoken is wisdom. So to know the truth, to get the ground reality, you have to hear what the opposition says. You may call us minority and will not hear our voice. What will happen if you continue with this attitude? The answer by Thiruvalluvar is this. Idipara illa emara mannan, kedupar illanum kedum. Which means a king without trenchant counsel will fail on his own. So, sir, therefore,
Please.
I request the government to withdraw the formulas, to surrender all the seats in medical education to the respective state governments, and to uphold the federalism. Thank you.
Thank you.